Scott, we were just mentioning the idea that we thought we had a deal between OPEC and non-OPEC countries. Now Russia might be injecting a little uncertainty, which is pushing the price higher.
Yeah, absolutely. That's first and foremost on the docket here. And everyone's expecting, like you said, this meeting next week, the OPEC meeting next week. And you know, everyone's expecting the deal to extend beyond March. Now, Russia's involved in this. But that being said, that is pushing the price higher here. But if anything, the risk to this deal not happening is actually to the downside here. You know, the market is pricing in this extension happening probably till the end of 2018. But if something comes, you know, something funky comes about here, which we've seen in the past here, there is some downside risk to oil.
Yeah, Scott, we have record net long positions at the moment in WTI. Yeah. At what price point do they start closing out?
You know, that's real interesting because right now, you know, there's been a big drawdown, especially because of what's going on in South Dakota with the Keystone Pipeline. But there's been a big drawdown. But the producers actually are pumping more now because of these prices that we're seeing now. So I think, you know, that everybody's talking about that $60 number really being the number that the producers want to be at, OPEC wants to be at. But again, I think the risk is actually to the downside here. We've seen such momentum in oil over the last month or so. I'd be very, very cautious here coming out of the news next week at the OPEC meeting, see what happens going into next year.
Yeah, if Russia says it wants to include language that would allow everybody revisit the agreement, for example, would that be enough uncertainty to send markets into a little bit of turmoil?
I think I really do. I think that is the case. I don't see a big downside move here, but I would not be surprised to see a good 10% cut off WTI here, getting back down into the low 50s. I think 60 is going to be, you know, really kind of the massive resistance above here. It's only a couple dollars higher here. I would not be surprised to see 52, 53 here shortly.
And then how correlated is dollar trading right now, Scott? We've seen a third week of dollar declines now. The dollar index back at the 92 handle. Where do you imagine the dollar goes in the next few weeks?
I think the dollar continues a little bit of a slide here. I think there is some pressure on it. But you know what? We're getting towards the end of the year here. We're getting towards, you know, all this economic news coming out for first quarter next year, the big OPEC meeting next week. I think we're going to see things calm down. But I do think oil slides a little bit further going into the next 3-4 weeks to the end of 2017 here.